Do affirmations really work? They told you to repeat it, over and over. I am powerful. I am successful. I am worthy. You whispered it in the mirror with trembling conviction, hoping, praying, that maybe, just maybe, the words could rewrite the truth. You no longer believed about yourself, but then life struck again. The bills piled up. The opportunities dried up. The rejection came. And in the quiet of your doubt, the affirmations began to sound like lies. So you ask, do affirmations really work? Let me tell you something no one else will. Affirmations are not magic. They are not pixie dust for the desperate. They are weapons forged in fire. And only those brave enough to wield them with full belief, full emotion, full action, ever unlock their power. This is not about positive thinking. This is not about pretending. This is about reprogramming the very engine of your identity. Because your thoughts are your builders. They stack the bricks of your reality, whether you're conscious of it or not. And every day you affirm something, whether you intend to or not. You say, I'm tired. You say, I'm broke. You say, I'm unlucky. And the universe says, yes, so be it. You see, affirmations are always working. The real question is, what have you been affirming unconsciously? The world doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your belief behind the words. It responds to your emotional signature, your internal broadcast, your unwavering frequency. When Napoleon Hill wrote about definiteness of purpose, when he said whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, he wasn't peddling hope. He was revealing a law as real as gravity, the law of autosuggestion. You become what you tell yourself repeatedly, with feeling, not once, not twice, but again, and again, and again, until your subconscious stops resisting, until the old programming dies, until your body forgets it ever believed you were anything less than unstoppable. The key is not saying the words. The key is feeling them as true before they are. You have to speak from your future, as if you're already there. You have to see it so vividly that your nervous system cannot tell the difference. You have to live in the result before the result exists. Because when you do, you bend reality. People say, that's delusion, but so is doubt, so is fear, so is waking up every day thinking you are powerless, when every cell in your body was designed for evolution. Here's what they never taught you in school. Your subconscious does not know the difference between a truth and a lie. It only knows repetition and emotion. It only knows what you let in, again and again, and your external world. It is a mirror, reflecting your deepest internal beliefs back at you with ruthless precision. So if you want to change the outside, you don't chase, you don't beg, you become. You become the kind of person who believes they deserve it, who believes they can create it, who believes they are already living it, even while the world tries to convince them otherwise. You speak what you want to remember, not what you're afraid of. You affirm what you intend to embody, not what the past has taught you to expect. You say, I am focused. I am fearless. I am fearless. I am the architect of my destiny. Not because it's easy to believe, but because repetition is how belief is born. Think about it. No child is born believing they are worthless. That belief was taught by accident, by trauma, by culture. And now, your job is to unteach it, to rewire it, to declare war on it, because the battle isn't out there. It's in here, in your language, in your mindset, in the internal scripts playing on repeat. Every great leader you admire, from Lincoln to Carnegie, from Oprah to Kobe, every one of them used affirmations, whether they called them that or not. I am not a slave to circumstance. I am bigger than this pain. I am born to make history. They affirmed their power when it wasn't popular. They spoke greatness over themselves when no one else would. You think success is about luck? No, it is about alignment. It is about bringing your thoughts, your speech, and your behavior into the same rhythm. That's what creates momentum. That's what builds unstoppable belief. So ask yourself, what have you been affirming lately? Have you been affirming your limits or your possibilities? Have you been affirming your excuses or your execution? Because here's the truth. Affirmations don't work when they're hollow. They don't work when they're timid. They don't work when you say them once and expect the world to rearrange itself. Affirmations work when you burn them into your soul, when you breathe life into them with emotion, when you act as if they are already true and refuse to settle for anything less. That's not delusion. That's creation. That is the same law Edison used when he failed 10,000 times and still said, "I have not failed. I have found 10,000 ways that won't work." He affirmed the inevitability of the light bulb, and eventually, the light came. So don't just repeat, don't just whisper, don't just write it on a sticky note. Live it, become it. Burn the bridge back to your old identity, because the only thing separating you from the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. You see, the universe doesn't respond to wishing. It doesn't answer the whispers of hesitation. It responds to certainty. It responds to the voice inside you that speaks not as a beggar of fate, but as a creator of destiny. You must speak your future into existence, not as a fantasy, but as a fact, as a command, as a non-negotiable truth. When you affirm, you are not asking for permission. You are declaring authority over your mind. I am disciplined. I am wealthy in mind before I'm wealthy in wallet. I am attracting every resource I need because I am the resource. Say it loud. Say it broken. Say it while you're still scared. But say it until your voice no longer shakes. Because here's the secret most people never understand. You don't wait to believe until it feels real. You repeat it until it becomes real. Belief is not a prerequisite. It is a byproduct of repetition, emotion, and action aligned over time. Look at any master in history, in business, in sport, in art. Before the world saw their brilliance, they spoke it over themselves. They carved it into their bones with their words. They trained their nervous system to obey a new standard, and slowly the world had no choice but to catch up. Your words are not decorations, they are blueprints, and every time you affirm with passion, with presence, with purpose, you lay another brick in the foundation of who you are becoming. But understand this, affirmations alone are not enough. You cannot chant your way out of laziness. You cannot affirm your way through inaction. You must match your words with behavior. You must embody your affirmations, not just speak them. Because when your body moves in the direction of your words, that's when the transformation becomes inevitable. If you say you are unstoppable, then act like it. If you say you are grateful, then live in that gratitude. If you say you are abundant, then stop hoarding scarcity in your actions and relationships. Affirmations are the ignition. Action is the fire. Say it, feel it, prove it. That's the formula. You must create a feedback loop so strong that your mind, your body, your spirit are all marching toward the same future. And today, that's when things start to shift. Suddenly the opportunities feel closer. Suddenly the people you attract align with your vision. Suddenly the resistance that once crushed you becomes fuel. You're not faking it, you're forging it. And let me be clear, forging hurts. It means burning off the lies you used to believe. It means standing in front of a mirror and affirming your power, while your past tries to whisper your weakness. It means being the one voice in your life that refuses to echo the doubt of others. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they affirm their limitations more convincingly than they affirm their greatness. Every day they say, "I'm not good enough. I never catch a break. This always happens to me," and they call it realism. But realism is just pessimism in a suit and tie. And pessimism is a virus disguised as wisdom. Your future does not belong to the most intelligent or the most talented. It belongs to those who dare to speak as if their dreams are already here. Not with arrogance, but with authority, with certainty born of repetition, with courage born of self-ownership, with faith that bends reality toward their will. That's what affirmations really are. They are anchors in the storm. They are the rope you throw forward into the future and pull yourself toward it, hand over trembling hand. And some days that rope will feel heavy. Some days the words won't feel real. Some days you'll stand in that mirror and choke on every syllable. But say them anyway. Say them through the tears. Say them through the doubt. Say them like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your inner life shapes your outer one, And if your inner voice is still repeating the language of limitation, then no external strategy will ever save you. You have to win in here before you win out there. So start today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when you think you've earned it. Say it now. Say it like you're pulling your future out of the fog. Say it like you are summoning the person you were always meant to be, because you are. And the only thing standing between you and that version of you is the story you tell yourself, and how often you dare to rewrite it. When you speak the language of your higher self, the world listens, but you must be consistent. This is where most people fail. They say it once, maybe twice. They paste a quote on the wall. They mumble a mantra while scrolling through chaos, and then wonder why nothing changes. Let me remind you, the mind does not respond to half-hearted commands. It obeys dominant instruction, and dominant instruction comes from repetition that outlasts resistance. You are not affirming to convince the world. You are affirming to replace the program running your subconscious. Because here's what you must understand. You are not fighting reality. You are fighting memory. Your brain isn't sabotaging you out of malice. It's just obeying what it knows. It's repeating the script that's been rehearsed the most. Not the one you want, but the one you fed the most. And that's the miracle of affirmation. It lets you feed a new script until the old one fades. You say, I am enough, even when the scars say otherwise. I am capable, even when the past screams failure. I am unstoppable, even when the obstacles pile like mountains. Because you are not affirming what you see, you are affirming what you choose to create. And that's the difference between the average life and the extraordinary one. The average person lives in response to circumstance. The extraordinary one creates from vision. Affirmations are vision in motion. They're the first blueprint you etch into the soul. They're the mental rehearsal of the person you've decided to become, even if the world hasn't met that version of you yet. You don't ask for permission to evolve. You declare it. You command the mind. You don't beg it. You don't negotiate with old patterns. You overwrite them. And yes, it will feel unnatural at first, because you're rewiring a machine that's been running on fear, doubt, and survival. But repetition is the hammer. Emotion is the fire. And your vision is the forge. Keep striking. Keep affirming. Keep becoming. You may not believe it on day one, but keep going. Say it like a ritual. Say it like you're planting seeds that haven't bloomed yet, because that's exactly what you're doing. And some of those seeds will take time. Some will sprout quietly. Some will crack your old identity wide open just to let the new you breathe. But each time you affirm, you're watering them. Each time you look in the mirror and declare, I am the one, you are cutting ties with the powerless version of yourself. You are writing a new truth, with sweat, with courage, with intention. That's what real affirmation is. It's not fluff. It's not fantasy. It's revolution. It's standing in the ruins of your doubt and daring to build a cathedral of belief. It's staring your fear in the face and whispering, not today. It's walking through rejection, through silence, through betrayal, and still saying, I am worthy. I am whole. I am not finished yet. Because you're not. Let the world doubt. Let them call it fake. Let them laugh. They don't understand that what you affirm today is what you manifest tomorrow. They don't see what's happening behind your eyes. The silent battles, the private rehearsals, the invisible fire you stoke each morning with your words. But you do. You are re-scripting your identity. You are reshaping your energy. You are reordering your life from the inside out. And when it feels hard, when it feels ridiculous, remember, that is the price of transformation. You are undoing decades of damage with one phrase repeated with power. You are reversing curses. You are deleting internal viruses. You are reclaiming your sovereignty, not with weapons, not with noise, but with words soaked in intention. Words are spells. Speak wisely. Speak as the version of you who already made it. Speak as the one who already overcame. Speak as if your legacy is listening, because it is. Speak until your body shifts. Speak until your habits shift. Speak until the world begins to reflect the new you you've already welcomed inside. You are not what happened to you. You are what you repeat after it. You are not the rejection. You are the response to it. You are not your wounds. You are the healer who dared to say, I will not bleed for the rest of my life. So affirm this. I am healing. I am rising. I am remembering who I was before the world told me who to be. And if the voice trembles, let it. If the belief falters, return to it. Because every time you say it, the old identity weakens. And every time you feel it, the new identity strengthens. Until one day it's no longer an affirmation. It's just who you are. You see, transformation doesn't arrive like lightning. It arrives like sunrise. So gradual, so steady, you barely notice it. Until one day you wake up, and the darkness is gone. That's how affirmations work. They're not explosions. They're evolutions. Subtle shifts in thought. Microscopic turns in emotion. Tiny victories over the old script. Repeated until they become muscle memory. At first it feels forced. You say, I am confident, and the echo mocks you. You say, I am successful, and your bank account laughs. You say, I am loved, and your past throws every abandonment at you. But listen, the mockery, the laughter, the memory, that's just the old identity gasping for air. It's the software trying to reboot itself. It's your ego, terrified of who you're becoming. Let it panic, let it shake, let it scream, and keep speaking. Because affirmations aren't for who you are now. They are instructions for who you are becoming. You're not lying to yourself. You're leading yourself. You're guiding your mind into new territory. And the mind will resist. That's its job. It wants familiarity, comfort, certainty. But affirmations, real affirmations, they are declarations of war against comfort. They are the rebellion of the soul that refuses to stay in its cage. You affirm not to escape reality, but to shape it. And if you keep at it, daily, relentlessly, deliberately, you'll reach a moment where the old voice falls silent, where the self-doubt evaporates, where the posture changes, where your actions suddenly match the words. That is the alchemy. That is when the bridge between language and identity becomes one. You'll look back at the you who started this journey, the timid voice, the hesitant whisper, and you'll smile, because that version of you was never weak. It was just untrained. Affirmations are training. Training your mind to obey a new master. Training your energy to align with vision. Training your tongue to speak from power, not pain. Look at the legends. Muhammad Ali didn't say, I hope I'm the greatest. He affirmed, I am the greatest. Until even the world started to believe him. He said it before he had the titles, before the world gave him the crown. Because real greatness never waits for applause. It's spoken first. It's owned first. It's felt in the bones before it's seen on the scoreboard. And that is the essence of all transformation. To become internally, before you're recognized externally. To say, I am, and let the world adjust. This is not about ego. This is about alignment. This is about reclaiming authorship over the script that shapes your every move. Because when you don't write your affirmations, the world will write them for you. You're too late. You're too old. You're too much. You're not enough. Every ad, every critic, every echo of the past, scripting your worth. Unless you intervene, unless you sit down with your mind and say, no more. I decide. I narrate. I command this vessel now. So you write new lines.
Pause.
I am ready. I am chosen. I am here for a reason. And you don't just write them. You speak them out loud like you're waking your soul from 1,000-year sleep. Because that's what it's been. Affirmations awaken the dormant giant. The genius buried beneath the wounds. The leader trapped beneath the labels. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to say you are strong when you feel broken. It's uncomfortable to say you are abundant when you're overdrafted. It's uncomfortable to say you are divine.
Pause.
When the world only mirrors flaws. But discomfort is not a signal to stop. It is proof you are stepping into new territory. Growth always feels like a lie at first. because the truth hasn't caught up yet. But it will. It always does. Because your words are architects, and they are building your future with every syllable. So choose your words like you're building the temple of your legacy. No more. I can't. I don't know how. I always mess it up. This is just who I am. Replace them, right now, with truth, with power, with vision. Say, I am learning faster every day. I always find a way. I am evolving in real time. I am destined to break cycles and build empires. And if your voice trembles, raise it. If your heart races, keep speaking. Because repetition turns the whisper into a roar. And one day you'll wake up and realize, you don't need to convince yourself anymore. You don't need to fake it. Because the words became you. You affirmed yourself into alignment. You declared yourself into destiny. You spoke yourself into the life they told you you'd never have. So keep going. Keep affirming. Not because you're broken, but because you are done pretending you're not powerful. Affirm not to cover wounds, but to activate your healing. Affirm not to escape reality, but to construct a new one. Affirm not to become someone else, but to return to who you were before the world told you to shrink. You are not here to survive. You are here to remember. And when you do, when every affirmation becomes a reflection of your soul's deepest knowing, you will not have to ask if they work. You will be living proof. You want to know when it finally starts to feel real, not just words echoing in the void, but truth vibrating through your bones. It happens when your environment hasn't changed, but you have. When the same challenges show up, and you don't fold. When the same voice of doubt creeps in, and you don't believe it anymore. That's when the shift becomes permanent. Because affirmations aren't about getting the world to agree with you. They're about getting you to agree with you, to create such a powerful internal consensus that no external opinion can override it. That's the real power. Not controlling the world, but becoming unshakable in the face of it. It's the voice that says, I don't need proof to begin. I am the proof in progress. And suddenly your energy changes. People notice. Doors open. Opportunities arrive that match your vibration, not your desperation. Why? Because you've become magnetic. Because when you affirm with belief, you don't chase, you attract. Not from arrogance, from alignment. Not from hustle alone, from clarity, intention, and deep-rooted belief. It's not just I want it, it's I am it. That's the difference between wishing and commanding, between hoping and knowing. Let me be clear, you can't speak one thing and live another. The universe is not confused, you are. Affirmations without congruence are noise, but affirmations with integrity, that's how you reshape timelines. So let your actions echo your affirmations. If you say you're disciplined, show up when it's hard. If you say you're wealthy, invest in yourself like you're worth it. If you say you're powerful, speak truth even when it costs you comfort. Don't just say it, prove it with your life. And yes, it will take time. You will be tempted to quit. You will wonder if it's working. You will question yourself when progress feels invisible. But trust me, progress always feels invisible right before it becomes undeniable. You plant the seed, and nothing seems to happen. Day after day, still soil, no sprout. And then one day, breakthrough. Affirmations are the same. Invisible progress, until identity catches up. Until the roots of new belief take hold. Until you stop trying to believe, and simply do. And when you do, when you act from belief, not for belief, everything accelerates. Because the most dangerous person alive is the one who no longer doubts their power. That's who you're becoming. Not just someone who says affirmations, someone who embodies them. You become the walking proof, the living evidence, the one who doesn't just talk about it, the one who radiates it. People will feel it before they understand it. They'll ask what changed, and you'll smile, because you know it wasn't the job, it wasn't the money, it wasn't luck, it was the decision to speak life into yourself, long before the world offered it. That is the quiet revolution of self-mastery. That is the internal uprising that affirms, I am not who they told me to be. I am who I've decided to become. And here's the truth. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need the right moment. You don't need the perfect words. You just need to start. Start messy. Start afraid. Start doubting. But start anyway. Say one phrase, again and again, until it echoes louder than your excuses. Write it on your mirror. Whisper it before bed. Scream it in your car if you must, because every word spoken in truth is a strike against the walls that hold you back, and every repetition is another brick in the foundation of the person you are building. You are not weak for needing reminders. You are wise for choosing them, because the strongest among us aren't the ones who never forget their power. They're the ones who deliberately remember it every single day. That's what affirmations are. Reminders of truth, reminders of vision, reminders of who you said you'd be before the world got to you. So remember now, and speak it like your life depends on it, because it does. This isn't a trend. It isn't a cute morning routine. This is reprogramming. This is redemption. This is you taking back authorship over your reality. So the next time you say, I am bold, I am free, I am the storm they warned you about, know this: you are not speaking into emptiness. You are speaking into eternity. And every word you declare today echoes into the life you live tomorrow. So speak wisely, speak bravely, speak endlessly, because the world will reflect what you believe. And when your belief becomes unbreakable, so will you. And now, you stand at the edge of the life you've always imagined, not in a fantasy, not in a dream, but in a moment of decision so real, so electric, that it will divide everything into two timelines. The one where you kept living as the echo of your past, and the one where you finally answered the call of your future. That future, it's been waiting, patiently, silently. It's been whispering through the cracks in your self-doubt, aching for you to remember that the keys were always in your hands. This is the moment to take them, to stand tall in the face of your fears and say, I am done shrinking for a world that fears my light. I am done letting memories speak louder than possibility. I am done letting the old script define the next chapter. Because today, you write new pages, not with ink, but with conviction, not with fantasy, but with fire. Affirmations are not decoration. They are declarations. Declarations of the new ruler of your inner world. The one who no longer apologizes for their power. The one who no longer chokes on their truth. The one who knows, without proof, without permission, without apology, that they were born for more. Say it with me, not quietly, not timidly, but with the full authority of a soul remembering itself. I am the voice of possibility. I am the architect of my identity. I am not becoming. I am, because you've waited long enough. You've begged long enough. You've watched others rise while doubting your own right to soar. No more. This is your rise, and it begins not with a miracle, but with a word you choose, a word you repeat, a word you become. I am ready. Let it sink in. Let it ripple through your bloodstream. Let it override every excuse, every delay, every false story that ever tried to keep you small. Say it until your voice doesn't just carry sound, it carries destiny. Say it until the cells in your body rearrange around your new identity. Say it until your posture straightens, and the storm that once crushed you now bows to you. Because this is not about pretending. This is about remembering. Remembering that everything you admire in others, the confidence, the purpose, the radiance, is already within you, buried beneath years of fear, dulled by the noise of other people's expectations, hidden under the weight of what-ifs and not-yets. But now you've broken the silence. Now you've spoken life into yourself. Now you've declared the truth that no longer needs proof. You are powerful. You are rising. You are becoming unstoppable. And the world, the same world that tried to shape you with doubt, will soon have no choice but to reflect your new reality. Because you didn't just say the words, you became them. You are living evidence, walking proof, breathing affirmation. So when they ask, do affirmations really work? Don't answer. Just live. And let the way you walk into every room, the way you build, speak, love, create, endure, be the answer. Let your life become the loudest affirmation of all. I am here, I am ready, and I was born for this. Now go, write the new story, speak the new truth, and never again let silence write the final line.